What's up, guys? In today's video, Alvin is going to show us the process of custom building some arrows. We've got the Easton Axis with a 340 spine. You're going to cut them the length that the customer ordered. We're going to put some inserts in, and it's got the factory fletchings on them, so we're not doing any custom fletching. So for those of you that are looking at how to just set up a quick arrow from the box from the store, this video will show you how to do it.
I'm just going to show you some things, what we're looking for as we're building arrows, give you a breakdown of what we do.
Alvin's the brains behind the operation. I run the camera. Time to assume positions and get to work. Let's do it.
Sounds good. Okay, first of all, guys, we're going to unbox all these arrows and get them laid out here so that we can cut them down. I preset the jig to the customer's requested length. He just messaged us, said he wanted 340 spine arrows and the length. And when he sent us the length, he did the carbon to carbon, so that is with no knock. That's from this end to that end with no knock. So that's the measurements he gave me. So I figured in the knock, I'm gonna cut him with the knock on. All right, time to make some noise and cut these things down. Alright, that looks good, so we can go ahead and cut the rest of them.
You're rotating those as you're cutting them. What are you doing as you're running them through the saw?
So I'm just putting them against the stop and then starting to rotate them as I'm slightly pushing against the grinder wheel there, just to make sure everything gets cut uniform on the end.
Are you spinning into the wheel or
yes,
away from it?
Yes, I'm spinning into the wheel. The wheel is spinning this way, so I'm spinning toward the wheel. And yeah, you gotta just spin it to make sure that everything gets cut nice and even there, and then we also square them. So next I'm actually gonna go along and square these things. So I have this little round disc here that I just spin it on and square that in. So we'll run through all 12 of these arrows and do that. So there's some powder stuck inside there whenever you're done cutting. That's why I'm tapping them on the block right there to just get as much of that out of there as I can. And then just trying to keep it as straight as possible whenever you're squaring that in. And we're also going to check that before we glue the inserts in. Alright, so now that we got them all squared, the next thing I like to do is clean the inside.
So some guys say that you leave that dust in the inside, it acts as like it helps bond better. Why do you clean them out?
Well, I was always told you try to clean that out so that, I guess the same idea as when you refletch, you make sure there's no finger oil residue on there, and you prime your fletchings so that your glue bonds better to the arrow. I just use some alcohol and put it on a Q-tip. Get this. Oh, great. So put it on a Q-tip and just run it in there. As you can see, it comes out all black. So there's all that residue in there from when I was cutting. Now normally if you just lay them aside, this alcohol dries super quick and kind of acts as a primer for the glue. Okay, the next step with these half outs is, this is pretty important, to make sure that I'm gonna fit all these arrows and make sure that that is square. So we did square them, but it could possibly not be perfect. So since this sticks out so far past the arrow, and if this is possibly not square whenever I seat it, it'll wobble. So I'm gonna just dry fit these with no glue on it and put them on the spinner here and make sure that those do not have any kind of wobble on them whenever. So that one looks good. Pull it out and just continue to check the rest of these. So with the hit insert, this is not as important. You can immediately glue those in because the carbon is still exposed. So the package comes with hit insert, and they slide inside all the way back in here. Let me just pull that one out. All the way back in here, leaving this exposed for if by chance you have that wobble on your field tip or your broadhead, you can still square that in and fix that. So that's why it's important with these half outs to do that before you glue them in. These half outs are 75 grains, which the customer requested. They're for better FOC on your arrow, which means front of center weight on your arrow. So yeah, he requested the 75 grain half out, and these I think the hit inserts that go in there are normally like 16 grains, so it's a good bit heavier than the hit insert. There's some pros and cons to that. With the higher FOC, it is more accurate at longer ranges, I guess you could say. But then if you are shooting like super long range, you lose some of your distance. So if you're shooting like out to 100 yards and you got a slider sight, you'll lose distance, and your sight will max out down against your arrow because of this high FOC on your arrow. So just for instance, on my bow, I only get 90 yards with a 75 grain insert in my arrow versus I used to be able to get around 100 to 110. So that's some of the pros and cons to it. If you're only shooting like 50 yards, 60 yards, or even in my case I can shoot out to 90 with that, you're good. So this one here has just a slight wobble to it. We'll try to sand that one down again.
Snack time!
All right.
That ain't a snack, that's a full-blown dinner. What the world?
That is a full-blown dinner.
Let's go!
Alright, so now that we have them all dry fitted, clean, all that's good. We're ready to glue them in. And there's several different glues that you can use to glue them in. If you want to be able to shoot them right away, there's a Max Bond adhesive that I use, and push it in there and they're ready to shoot within a few minutes after you glue them. And then you also have a hot melt. It comes in a stick like this. You got to heat up the insert with the torch. You got to melt the hot melt on there, and then if you have to move it for any reason, you can reheat that in like boiling water, and you can spin that again because it takes heat to release that glue. So this is a good option if you want to do broadhead tuning and stuff like that. Yeah, if guys want to shoot them right away, like I said, you can use this. So we'll go ahead and glue these all in. Just take them out of the pack. So I just like to have a rag to clean off any extra glue residue that might end up outside the arrow after I'm done gluing it. So you just take and put a couple beads of glue on there. You'll soon figure out if you have too much on there because it'll really ooze out. So first one's kind of a test to see how. And then this stuff here, I gotta push it in pretty quickly because that thing will dry on you halfway out if you stop. So I just twist it around a little bit, push it in there, so you can see there's a little bit of glue residue on the outside there. That's where this comes in. I just clean that off. Get a nice clean insert. So that's the first one. We're just going to repeat that process with the rest of these. Alright, so I just finished gluing in all those inserts and they are ready to go. With that quick epoxy, you can now go target practice with them, or you can screw broadheads in there and you can go hunting. So yeah, we're going to call the customer and tell them we can come pick them up.
Guys, thanks for watching the video. Alvin here has had this dream of Fletched Outdoors for quite a while. Here this summer we made it happen. Fletched Outdoors, we're in Newburgh, Pennsylvania. If you guys want some custom arrows built, if you want to swing by and get your bow tuned, if you want pretty much anything archery, we're working on getting in stock.
Yep.
Make sure you subscribe to the video. I know that they tell us not to say that kind of stuff, but this is one of our first main videos where you guys are seeing us face to face. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you go check us out on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I didn't get TikTok yet.
Not yet.
Ever seen an Amish guy on TikTok?
I have, yeah.
Amish guys on TikTok.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's make it happen.
If we don't have it in here, don't be afraid to ask. We can get it.
We've got distributors. We've got some companies that we're working with that we can get some things here that if we don't have them in stock yet, we can get them. FletchedOutdoors.com. You guys can order all of your archery supplies online. We'll ship it to you. One of the only guys in the area that we can say can do that.
Yeah,
So
and if you
pretty
guys
proud of
want a
that.
set of custom arrows, send us a message on our website. You can go on there and contact us. Give us the information. We have Easton arrows.
We both talk a lot with our hands. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. So we got Easton Axis, Full Metal Jackets, Sonics, Bow Hunters, and the Bow Hunter Classic. So, and a full range of different spines. So if you guys want custom arrows, you can give us a message on our website with your length and all that fun stuff, and we can build them for you, give you a call, and we'll send them out.
So FletchedOutdoors.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time. Boom!
Boom!